Welcome to the Sunflower Spread podcast. I'm your co-host, Garrett Winkler. With me, as always, was going to be Garrett Chadd.
Hello, I am Garrett Chadd, the co-host to Garrett Winkler.
There we go. All right. So, you just want to dive right in?
Yeah. Well, first, this is a podcast for, picking games and
College spreads.
being a gambling degenerate.
Every once in a while, an NFL spread. Who knows?
Yeah, we might mix them in there, but that's pretty much it. Let's just go. Let's go.
Right, let's go. Let's do it. All right. We're going to start off with Friday night games, all right? There's 4 games Friday night. I'm only going to talk about 2 because I'm not talking about Nevada and Colorado State.
No one's talking about that.
No one's talking about that. So I'm going to start off with Houston at Memphis, 6:30 kickoff. It's on ESPN 2, non-spawn. Over-under is 57.5. Memphis is favored by 2.5.
I like Memphis in this game. As a Kansas fan, I have seen Houston, and as a football fan, I've seen Houston. I watched them play Tulane last week, and of course, I watched them get blown out by Kansas in week 2 or 3, something like that.
Yep.
This is not a good football team over in Houston. 5th-year starter in Clayton, or not starter, but senior in Clayton Tune.
Yeah.
Very undisciplined, the most penalized team in the country, also.
Yep.
And Memphis has had not a great schedule, but I have no faith in this Dana Holgorsen coach team.
So Dana Holgorsen has lost control of this team, okay? So they, against the KU game, 2 of their players got in a fist fight on the sidelines. I don't know if you saw that. Shoving match, sorry, not fist fight. Shoving match. And then last week against Tulane, Dana Holgorsen broke his headset yelling at the quarterback. And they went on to lose the game, and that was that. I'm sorry. Houston is in disarray. Memphis, the spread's 2.5. I'm taking Memphis. I hammered it right when it came out. I was like, I had my own Houston last week, so this is kind of a spite pick. I'm picking Memphis, not really knowing what's going on with them. It seems like they're an above-average American team. That's how I describe them. So I'm going Memphis 2.5.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yep.
As far as over-under, it's at 57.5. Let's take a look here. Memphis seems to be pretty high scoring. They've scored over 35 in every game except their last game, a 24-3 win against Temple. I think I'd take the over in this game.
Yeah, I would too. I'm not betting the over, but if I were to bet it, I would take it. Yes.
Yeah. So money's on Memphis. I'd take Memphis if I were all you fine folks.
Right. I'll be watching it tomorrow night. All right, moving on to UNLV San Jose. San Jose is favored by 7. That was a spread from last night, so that may have shifted. It's 9:30 p.m. kickoff. CBS SN. Yep, they have that channel. Over-under is 52.5. Want to lead it off?
Yeah, I don't know much about either of these teams, admittedly. From what I can see here, UNLV seems to be quite the offensive team. Their only game against a Power 5 team, game against Cal, they lost 20-14. Let's see how Cal's doing this year. Cal is 3-2.
Cal's not bad. They're a scrappy team. They're frisky.
On the other hand, San Jose's only Power 5 game lost at Auburn, who is bad. I almost would take the UNLV.
Rebels.
I think I would take the UNLV spread. Or their money line. Either one. I like UNLV in this game more than San Jose.
San Jose's got a better defense. That's the determining factor for me. I think San Jose is also favored to come win that division. I don't know if you probably don't know this, but they're in the Mountain West division together.
They are.
I think they're in the West division, and the winner of these are the 2 best teams in that division. Mountain West is in kind of disarray. Fresno, I was probably going to be my pick to win it, but with their quarterback being injured, Fresno's got half their team injured pretty much. San Jose's looking like the prime to take it. I'm going to take San Jose in this one. That's just my pick. I like San Jose laying the points.
Well, this doesn't change my pick at all, but I was looking at this last 5 for San Jose. I didn't know they'd only played 4. I saw they lost to Fresno 40-9. That was last year, of course, in their last game of the season. But still, their defense does look. I mean, the defensive stats are pretty good. They certainly have a better defense than UNLV. But UNLV's offense looks pretty high flying. They're averaging 423 yards a game, 38 points a game.
The over is honestly enticing to me. The over 52.5, that's not a bad over. I already put money on San Jose, so I'm going to be rolling with that. We're riding with the Spartans. They also got a lot of heart. They got a lot of heart. I don't know if you heard about that.
I have heard about that.
A lot of heart in their team.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go against you. I'm gonna take that UNLV.
Let's do it.
UNLV money line spread, either one. I don't even know if I'm gonna bet on this game, but I'm gonna spite you.
San Jose. All right, we'll move to the Saturday slate. We'll lead off with the Big 12 teams. Big 12 is our conference.
Let's start.
Both of our favorite teams are in the Big 12. I'm a K-State fan.
I am a Kansas fan, and it feels good for once.
Good year for you. Before the season started, we had a bet for Kansas over 4 wins, and I already paid him. Paid out of that. Cashed out. I cashed out. After the third win, I was like, yeah, KU's going to be winning. So, all right, we'll start in the Big 12.
Let's start with Texas Tech and Oklahoma State.
Texas Tech, Oklahoma State. Okay, it's a 2:30 kickoff. FSN 1 at Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State is favored 9.5. Over under 68.5.
I mean, I think it's pretty safe to say that Oklahoma State has a pretty good shot at being the best team in the Big 12.
Yes.
With all due respect to Texas Tech, I mean, they played NC State fairly well, and they definitely could have rolled over and died against K-State, but they didn't. They fought back. They made it a single-digit ball game. Still lost, but they have 2 losses to very good teams. But I think Oklahoma State. I think they might. I think they might roll in this one. It's not November, so they're not prone for an upset yet.
Yep.
So yeah, I think I'm gonna just take Oklahoma State here.
I also have Oklahoma State. I have them beating them by more. So my reasoning behind it was that K-State won by 9 or 8. I think it was 9. And Oklahoma State, I believe right now is a better team than Kansas State. So I think that, and it's also in Stillwater. So I think Oklahoma State rolls them. I think it's going to be a 14-point game. The only thing I'm worried about is a backdoor cover by Texas Tech, but who knows?
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't super sold on Oklahoma State with their non-conference, but I mean that win last week against Baylor was very impressive. We watched a little bit of that game, and I mean, I'm not super high on Baylor this year, but Oklahoma State I think is a very good football team. I'm going to take them to cover this spread, and I don't know if I'll take. Let's see. Over-under's at 68.5.
68.5. A lot of points.
That's a lot of points.
I'll probably go under. I'm not betting it. I don't like betting over-unders.
I would take the under.
Vegas always has it right on the money, so I'm just like, it's just a flip of a coin to whether you get the over-under or not. So, all right. We'll go on to Texas, Oklahoma next. Texas is favored by 7 points. Over-under 64.5. I do not have the broadcasting station for that. My apologies. First time Texas and Oklahoma have played, and neither team has been ranked since 1998, I believe.
These
might be a fake stat. Who knows?
That is a real stat, actually. This is pretty much a mid-off. That game's on ABC, by the way. Noon Eastern time kickoff. I mean,
I would say this is the least interesting Big 12 game.
No, I would agree.
I'm sorry.
I have no interest.
I'm not going to watch this game.
Yeah. I don't know who I like in this one. They're both pretty. Spread's 8.5 in favor of Texas.
So it's shifted?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it was 7 last night. So my apologies. 8.5.
I think I would take Oklahoma to cover that. I mean, it's a rivalry game. Yeah. Oklahoma's not.
Dylan Gabriel's not playing.
Oh, he's not? Oh,
no.
Well. Who's their backup quarterback?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, then, hey, I might. I don't know. It's still a rivalry game now.
Yeah.
You know?
I would probably take the over. What's the over at right now?
The over is at 65.5. It went up 1 point.
Yep, went up 1 point. I'd still probably take the over in this game. I don't like to. I bet OU last week. I thought they were going to have a big bounce back game against TCU. That did not happen. Dylan Gabriel got
clocked.
died. No, I'm sure he's fine. I think he's still questionable for this game, but I believe if the spread shifted that much, I'm guessing he got ruled out. So I would probably put my money on Texas to cover. I think Texas runs away with this one. Brent Venables officially gets moved to the hot seat after signing.
Yeah, no,
big Brent Venables guy makes me sad. But
Oklahoma has a abysmal defense. They gave up over 550 yards to TCU.
Yep.
Actually, I think it was. Let me look. 600.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a horrific game. But yeah, no. Now that I know Dylan Gabriel is out and thinking about Oklahoma's defense, unless there's a giant turnaround here, I'm going to take Texas in this game, and I'm going to take them to cover their spread.
It's just a lot of points. I want to take Oklahoma. If they would have showed any fight against TCU, I would have probably took Oklahoma. But the fact Dylan Gabriel's out, I would not risk it. I would not risk this to be their comeback game.
All right. Moving on. Do you want to do K-State, Iowa State?
We'll do K-State. We're kind of jumping around here. We've got to get it in order next time. But K-State's favored by 2 points. Over-under 45. Low over-under. It is on ESPNU, 6:30 p.m. kickoff. In Ames, by the way.
I am hammering the K-State spread.
Really? I'm actually surprised by that.
Iowa State is not a good football team. That game against Kansas did not play well at all. We all know that. But I don't think... okay, I take it back. Iowa State's not a bad football team. I just don't think they're a phenomenal one.
Yeah.
Special teams is an issue. How's K-State's special teams this year?
Decent?
Not
like the classic Sean Snyder special teams, but it's still solid. It's still a K-State special teams.
I still love this K-State spread.
I do too. I saw it was 2.5, and I was surprised. If it was like 6.5, I probably wouldn't have went Iowa State, but I saw it was 2, and I was like, whoa. So I got in at 2.
Yeah, I really like K-State. I think they're a good football team. Over-under's 45. I think K-State will fare better than KU did last week on offense. I think I would take the over here. K-State's offense is looking pretty good. The only slip-up they've had is against Tulane.
Yeah. I am actually very worried about this game. And I watched the Iowa State-KU game last week, and I was like, we're going to roll Iowa State. It's going to be nothing. But they shut down KU. KU's had one of the best offenses all season up until Iowa State. The other thing is that Iowa State's got a ferocious run defense, and that's all K-State does. Adrian Martinez is averaging like 150 yards passing, if that. I would even be surprised if it was 150 yards passing. Adrian Martinez is going to have to throw the ball to win this game, I believe, and that's where we get back to his Nebraska territory. So I think Adrian Martinez is going to have an interception or two in this game because we're going to have to throw the ball. I would say K-State wins this by a field goal. So if it was K-State 3.5, I would say by a field goal, but I am taking K-State. 2 is I'll take K-State -2. Over under 45. I actually, man, that's a hard one because it's a 24-21 point game. I think that can happen. That's right on. That's a push. I'd probably lean the under though. Iowa State only put up 11 points against KU. And I'm sorry to knock on your Jayhawks, but KU's got a horrible defense.
They do. They have horrible. But
they do have Kobe Bryant, which, don't get me wrong, Kobe's a great... I actually think Kobe's going to go to the NFL.
Kansas has great individual pieces in the defense, not a cohesive unit. But we'll talk about that for our next game.
Yeah. All right. We'll go ahead and good transition. We'll go ahead and go in number 17 TCU at number 19 Kansas. College Game Day is going to be there. All the hype's going to be there in Lawrence, 11 a.m., Fox Sports 1. TCU's favored 6.5, and the over/under is set at 68.5.
The number 19 ranked Kansas
Jumped
Jayhawks.
Jumped K-State.
Yeah,
don't get me wrong. K-State's got a loss, so I'm not complaining. I'm just
what a season it's been for my Kansas fighting football Jayhawks. However, this is definitely the hardest test so far. Don't get me wrong, KU has had kind of a mixed bag on their schedule. Tennessee Tech, FCS, West Virginia, not as good.
Scheduling manipulation.
Yeah. Houston was ranked coming into the year, but now we see they are bad. Duke, I don't know. I think they had a bye last week, but I'm not sure.
Duke's good. I actually think Duke's one of the better
Duke's
teams
pretty
you guys
good
have
football
played.
team.
I think Duke's the best team you guys have played.
Yeah, and Iowa State, great defense. They gave us fits all day. This is, as we just saw, TCU absolutely steamrolled Oklahoma. And I was telling Winkler this, I was not high on TCU at all before the Oklahoma game. So, I mean, their schedule's not super impressive. It's at Colorado, who's probably the worst team in football right now.
TCU right now looks like the best team in the Big 12. I think Oklahoma State will end up winning the Big 12. That's my probably pick at this point right now. But I think TCU does look the best team. Granted, they played OU and who else? SMU.
They played OU and SMU. Tarleton State is, I think a FCS school.
Yeah.
And then SMU, I don't know anything about SMU this year. So
SMU sucks. Let's put it
okay, so
I do like their quarterback. I like Mordecai, but that's besides the point.
Three pretty weak teams, and then a steamroll against OU. So it's really, we don't know what we're getting. Kansas played this team very close last year. They lost on a field goal, I believe,
really?
Right at the end. Yes,
this
was right after the Texas game or the OU
New
game.
coach though, Sonny Dykes.
Sonny Dykes,
I
Max
love Sonny
Dugan
Dykes.
is a great quarterback.
Former SMU coach.
They've got a pretty decent running game. Max Dugan though, he's a stud, man. Jalen Daniels, Heisman candidate at the moment. Well, after last week, we'll see. But KU's also missing Daniel Highshaw after he suffered an injury last week.
I'm gonna throw a curveball at you. If KU wins this game, just outright wins it, then what do you think they're gonna be ranked next week?
Probably top 15.
I got top 10.
Wow.
I think they get in the top 10. They've had the hardest schedule out of anyone that's played so far.
That's true, actually. That's a real stat. You guys can look that up.
They've had the hardest schedule of anyone that's played. They've gone on the road twice in their first 4 games.
Won an overtime game by double digits, by the way.
Against the mighty West Virginia
Mountaineers.
I don't
Kobe Bryant, pick 6.
Yep.
But, so, we've got the spread at 6.5. Over-unders 69. Nice. Kansas used to be the best team in America against the spread. As bad as they were.
They still are. They're 100% right now.
Are they right now?
They're 100%.
Then I'm going to keep rolling with it. I think Kansas is going to cover that spread. Whether they win or not, I don't know. I think it'll be a close game, win or lose. Personally, I'm not going to pick them to win because that means they will definitely lose. And I'm going to go the over. This is going to be a shootout.
Yep. I think TCU wins the game, okay? Like, I'm going to be honest with you. I think TCU wins the game. The only thing is that KU's won me a lot of money. I bet on KU every single week past the West Virginia game, and they've made me so much money. So I'm going to keep going. I'm willing to lose my $5 or a bet. I'll put $5 on a money line just to see what happens, just ride or die. But I'll ride Kansas. They'll cover. TCU might. I still think TCU wins. I think TCU is probably just going to roll them. I think TCU, we're going to find out a lot about them. I think they're a very big question mark. I mean, Oklahoma's their most impressive win, and Oklahoma lost their quarterback midway through the game, and K-State beat Oklahoma in Oklahoma. So,
yeah,
Oklahoma,
so really
Oklahoma
a mixed
bad.
bag from TCU.
Yeah. I don't know what we're getting TCU. TCU could come out and just, shit themselves this game, and I would not be surprised.
That would be sick.
Yeah,
but... that game against Iowa State really dropped KU's yards. Holy crap.
All right.
Okay, well, moving on. Out of our Big 12 slate.
I will bring us into. All right, so this is what people are calling everyone's saying that this is the game of the week. Number 8, Tennessee at number 25, LSU. 11 a.m. ESPN. Tennessee's favored by 3. Over-under is 68.5.
In Death Valley.
In Death Valley. Brian Kelly's the coach. Take that with what you will.
Man, I wanted to really hammer Tennessee, but now I'm looking at the side-by-side. Tennessee's got a great offense.
I hammered Tennessee.
They got one of the worst defenses in the country. And
do you want to hear a stat? Do you want to hear a stat real quick?
Yeah.
LSU played at Auburn. Auburn is horrible. Okay. Auburn outgained them by 200 yards, and LSU somehow still won. I'm sorry. LSU's not going to be able to move the ball against Tennessee. I think Tennessee covers. It's only 3, right? Is that what I said? 3? Yeah. It's only a 3-point spread. I think Tennessee wins this by a touchdown at the least. I agree it's a Death Valley game, but it's 11 a.m. It kind of takes a little bit of the fans out of it.
All the LSU kids are still
They're
hungover.
way too drunk or still waking up. So
like that guy who walked on the field.
Yep, exactly like that. But I think Tennessee covers it easily. I don't know who Tennessee has next week. It could be a look ahead, but I think Tennessee goes in and gets the job done. I think LSU is ranked solely because they got ranked after that horrible Auburn game. I think they got ranked solely for this game.
No, it's definitely it's a little SEC.
Brian Kelly's a bad coach.
Magic. He is a bad coach. That's true, actually. Yeah, I'll roll with you. I'm going Tennessee. Over under 65. I'm gonna take.
They dropped to 65.
Under.
I'll have to update this next time. All right. Moving on to Arkansas, Mississippi State. Mississippi State's ranked number 23rd. Cowbells will be out in full force, 11 a.m. SEC Network, so I won't be able to watch it. Mississippi State minus 9.5. This spread's moving all over the place. It started at 5.5. It may have already went up again. Over under 55. So Arkansas's quarterback's projected to be out. I have Mississippi State all the way. I think Mississippi State's going to roll them. Mike Leach, swing your sword. Let's get it done. That's all I have to say about this game.
Yeah, I'll roll with you. I mean, Arkansas, they put up a little fight against Bama when Bryce Young
didn't
went
cover.
out. But,
don't care.
Don't
care.
I love Mike Leach. I'm a Mike Leach stan.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Leach stan. So, yeah, let's go Mississippi State here to cover.
All right. Purdue at Maryland. You're a big Maryland fan. I'm a big Purdue fan.
I am now a big Maryland fan.
So, Maryland's favored by 3, 58.5 Big Ten Network, so it's another game I won't be watching. 11 a.m. kickoff. So I heard a rumor Maryland has the worst student section in the nation.
They do. Okay. It's true. Terps, get your stuff in order. They do not have a home field advantage whatsoever.
Neutral site game, pretty much. Neutral site game.
Neutral site game. I would say almost. However, I do think that Maryland actually has a pretty good football team this year. They've got Tua's little brother at quarterback. He's a kind of a mixed bag, but generally, I think they're much better this year than they have been in years past. So
Boiler up, baby. Boilermakers.
I know you're
take
a big
it to Maryland.
guy.
Okay.
Maryland.
I love their quarterback. It's like O'Connell or O'Connor. I can't remember, but O'Connell. I love him. He got injured. They should have beat Syracuse. They should have beat Penn State. So that's 2 games that they should have won that they lost, and both were road no, Penn State was a home game. My apologies. But Syracuse was a road game. And you can't win the Carry Dome against Syracuse early in the season. They went 5-0 last year and finished the season 5-7. So I think that was just a trap game. But anyways, I think Purdue's right in the ship. They beat I don't know who they beat last week.
Minnesota.
They beat Minnesota last week. I had Purdue in this game. I think they take it to Maryland.
Maryland beat Michigan State 27-13. Michigan State's bad. They lost at Michigan 34-27. The rest of their non-con they handled pretty easily. The SMU they only beat by 7. I think I'm selling. I'm very high on Maryland. All right, but I tell you what, I think this is looking way into the future, and I could come back on here next episode and say I was wrong.
Yep.
I think that Maryland has a chance to go into the Ohio State game with 1 loss. As long as they beat Penn State. Their schedule coming up is going to be a make or break year for Maryland on if they are a good program or not. They've got a very light schedule coming up after this Purdue game. They win this, I think they could roll into Penn State. If they beat Penn State, then they can get game day against Ohio State. But again, I could come back on here and say I was an idiot. So Maryland, prove me correct.
All right. Utah at UCLA. Utah's ranked 11th. UCLA 18. Utah's favored minus 3.5. 64.5 is the over/under. It's going to be on Fox. 2:30
Central.
Yeah. Central. All these times are in Central, by the way.
Let's see.
I want to hit UCLA so bad. I think they look good against Washington. I think they'll be fired up. It's another neutral site game in the Rose Bowl. So I think that UCLA's they're known for neutral site games since they don't have a home stadium.
Yeah.
So I think UCLA gets it done. Utah's not played a neutral site game this year. So that's my analysis on that.
Utah. They lost to a bad Florida team week 1, and they've rolled the rest of their schedule. However, it is not a very impressive schedule by any means.
Chip Kelly's back.
Chip Kelly is back.
And also, Utah's star tight end out for the rest of the year. Tore his ACL or NCL. One of the CLs.
I like UCLA. I've always liked Chip Kelly,
I'll take
honestly,
the
as a
spread,
college
not
coach.
money line.
Yeah.
Utah might win by field goal. That's fine. UCLA I'll take plus 3.5.
Over under 64.5. I'll take the over on that.
All right. Good luck.
Little Pac-12 action. Good stuff.
All
Love
right.
the Pac-12. Next up.
I'm skipping the ECU lane.
All right.
I don't want to talk about that one.
Move on.
Duke, Georgia Tech. All
Duke.
Right. Duke, yep, that's all I have too. Over under 54? I think it's over.
Yeah.
Moving over, that's on NBC. Nobody cares. No, wait, no.
BYU.
That was on ESPN.
Notre Dame.
BYU, Notre Dame, number 16 BYU at Notre Dame. Notre Dame's minus. So this is not in South Bend. I just looked this up. This is in Las Vegas. I don't know why they're bringing the Mormons to Las Vegas. That's going to be a horrible time for them.
Vegas, yeah.
But I think this is more of a home game for BYU. I don't know why Notre Dame agreed to do this, but it's in the little Roomba Stadium, Las Vegas Raiders Stadium. So Notre Dame's favored 3.5, 51.5 is the over/under. It's on NBC, 6:30 kickoff. It's gonna be the night game. I'm gonna be flipping back and forth between this game. I actually really like this game. I like how they did the Catholics versus the Mormons. That's golden. That's great. So I'm actually really excited for this game.
I think.
I'm taking BYU 3.5. I think BYU's got the better quarterback. Notre Dame has turned it on a little bit, so I'm a little worried about it. But this might be a field goal game. Notre Dame might hit a late field goal, and so I think that's going to play into it. So
I mean, to be fair here to Notre Dame, yeah, they did lose to Marshall, but they went to Ohio State. And they played them pretty close. It was a pretty close game.
Ohio State.
Yeah, Ohio State. They lost 21-10. First game of the season for both teams.
Both teams are rusty.
You know, so they do have some momentum. I think I still like BYU.
I like their quarterback. That's what
I do like BYU's
he has his
quarterback.
receivers back. His receivers were injured against Oregon. That's why they lost by so much.
Well,
they beat a horrible Baylor team in overtime.
Pain. Anyway, I'll take BYU with you.
All right, that sounds good.
We got
Fresno at Boise State. Boise's favorite 7.5. Over under is 45.5. Fox Sports 1. 8:45 kickoff time. Late game. I have Boise State. Fresno's very injured up. If Fresno's full state, I'd be hammering Fresno. They'd be the favorite to win their division. But Boise State's starting to merge with just running the ball. It's working for them, I guess. Bachmeier transferred, and Boise State is on a 1-0. They're undefeated without Hank Bachmeier.
They were down 13-0 against San Diego State,
but they
went
won
on a 35-0
because they just ran the ball.
Yeah. So, I mean, oh God, Fresno lost to UConn.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm hammering Boise.
I wanted to talk about the Iowa-Illinois game, but now I decided not to. So
under.
Yep, under. It's under. The under is at 36.5. That is going to be a low-scoring game.
All right.
Michigan,
and I threw one on here. Okay, Michigan and Indiana. I threw this one on here because the spread is 22.5.
Indiana? Who's the coach and quarterback for Indiana? That's how I look at that.
Indiana's quarterback is Connor Bazelak. Bazelak.
Is he good? That's what you need to beat Ohio State. You need a good quarterback.
Michigan. Tom Allen is still the head coach.
Oh, that's Michigan's quarterback?
Or Indiana.
Indiana, okay.
Tom Allen is still the head coach at Indiana.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
And J.J. McCarthy is the quarterback for Michigan. The thing with Michigan is if they are really good or not.
McCarthy's going to promise another, 10-2 season for Michigan?
But, I can undoubtedly say that Indiana is probably just bad. They went 3-0. They beat Illinois 23-20, Idaho 35-22, and they beat Western Kentucky in overtime 33-30. Then went and lost to Cincy by 21 and Nebraska by 14. So, I think Michigan, I don't know if they're as good as they are as their ranking shows at number 4.
Nobody knows if they're
very
good.
I still think they're going to win. I almost want to take Indiana to cover this spread, though. But they did. I don't know. What do you think? 22.5.
I like the points against Michigan. I think Michigan's offense is kind of Like it's good.
They've got a great run game,
it's
though.
the worst of the elite teams. If you put Michigan in the elite teams, they're the worst offense. Easy. And
but the running game, this guy
also don't think
93 carries, 611 yards, 10 touchdowns on the season. He's a big reason they escaped Maryland with a win.
Mm-hmm.
And he was great last week against Iowa as well. So I think Michigan might just run all over him. Because, let's see, Indiana's given up 145 rushing yards a game. I mean, that's a decent number, but it's not great by any means.
I'm going to take the points in Indiana. I don't think Michigan's defense is as good as it once was last year, and I think Indiana will sneak in like this is going to be a 28-7 game right off the bat, and Indiana's going to like score late and make it like a 17-42 game. You know what I mean? Like it's going to be a backdoor cover, like for sure. So that's my analysis over it. So there's that. I think it's going to be a backdoor cover by Indiana. What's the over-under at?
59.5.
59.5.
I think I take the over.
35-20 for both schools.
35-24.
That's how I always do it. I always think like, all right, what's the potential score? 42. I'll do the under. I don't think Indiana's putting up 24 points. I think they put up 17. Oh, can Michigan score 42?
Yeah, I'm going to go the under.
Can Michigan score 42 points?
42-17 game.
It's a Big Ten defense. Indiana, but come on.
Indiana's allowed 425 yards a game. So they're very cupcake schedule.
Also, Purdue resides in Indiana, so screw Indiana. But I'm actually taking Indiana plus the points. All right, I got some NFL games I'm gonna throw at you.
Okay.
All right. Cowboys at Rams. The Dallas Cowboys at Rams. The Rams are favored in this game. Okay, I don't know what the spread is. I apologize, but the Rams are favored. I think it was 5 points, and they have no offensive line. Their offensive line is horrible. Micah Parsons is going to destroy Matt Stafford.
Is he out?
Oh, is he out? Oh, shoot. Well, I thought he was playing.
Hold on.
I think he's still in.
No, I think he's. I
was going to say, I was like, that would be national news if he was out. I was like, he's playing. He's playing. I have not heard it, so he's playing. If he is injured, get your ass in there. You got to go get some sacks, dude. You're gonna have a record-setting game if you play against this offensive line.
Cooper Rush is undefeated as a starter.
Also covering one more thing: Las Vegas Raiders at Chiefs. The line is 7.5. Over under 51.5.
I'm hammering both.
I think the over.
I'm taking the over.
Over, yeah. Over for sure.
I'm taking the Chiefs to cover that spread.
It is a primetime game, and the over-under is like, it always hits the under in primetime games for whatever reason. So
what's the over again? Sorry.
51.5.
51.5.
Kansas City Chiefs.
I think this is a 38-17 Chiefs win.
38-17? Is that
roughly. That's over.
That's exactly 52. Nope. Oh, wait. Yeah. No, that's the over. 51.5.
I'm going to take the over.
Yep,
and,
over for sure.
You know, the Chiefs' run defense has been pretty good this year. Pass defense still has a hole here or there, but generally their defense is pretty improved. And, I mean, we saw how they treated the Raiders last year. Devontae Adams is not going to save that. And just as I said about Maryland, if I am wrong, I'll come on here and I'll call myself an idiot. But I don't think I am going to be wrong just because Kansas City owns Las Vegas. That's how it is.
There's a flag buried underneath the field. Pretty funny.
Yeah, that is funny.
Yep. Kansas City Chief flag buried underneath the Roomba.
The Roomba. But yeah.
I do have something to say about this. The Raiders always come in just like the first game they play the Chiefs, they always just come in and like they do good. And I think it's because the Raiders, I don't know if you ever watched the Raiders players whenever the Chiefs are playing them in Arrowhead. The Raiders players hate the Chiefs. I don't know why.
Well, yeah, it's like...
I mean, I know it's a divisional rivalry game, but you get my point is that, like, when we play the Chargers, you know, the Chargers are just kind of doing their own thing, you know what I mean? The Broncos, same thing, they're just doing their own thing. The Raiders, like, I think it's just Derek Carr and his mascara. Yeah. Like, he's just glaring at the Chiefs sideline every single time. He's like an emo goth kid, which nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying that, like, it's terrifying. Like, how could you have that much hatred when you, like, for a team that beats you every year?
Here's a fun stat. All right, in the first game last year, in Las Vegas. The Chiefs beat the Raiders 41-14. A month later, the Chiefs and the Raiders play again in Kansas City, and the Chiefs win 48-9.
All right.
I watched
Chiefs,
I watched one of those on a Greyhound bus. I don't remember which one. Great game.
Great
game to watch
Great
on a
game.
Greyhound bus.
Hey.
But it's a new year, but I think we're probably just gonna curb stomp them, honestly.
Curb stomp? The classic Mahomes curb stomp?
Yeah.
Do you think Mahomes hits is over for passing yards? I don't know what it is. It's probably like 230 or something like that. Or no, it's probably like 275. Let me look it up. Sorry about that. Alrighty, let's look at passing yards for Mahomes. Because I'm actually curious about this. Because Mahomes, he's been off and on this year. He does good and he does bad. Like, it's very inconsistent. And that makes me sad because I want to see him do good.
Also a new fact I just saw. Andy Reid is 15-3 against the Raiders as the Chiefs head coach.
They have not released Mahomes passing yards. That's what it's taking me so long to find it. So my apologies. But do you think Mahomes throws for, let's put it at 250. Do you think Mahomes throws for over 250 yards?
Probably.
Yeah. Okay. That's fine. Closing thoughts? Talk about social media. Are we launching a social media account?
Oh, yeah, we will. All right. So, again, this is Sunflower Spreads. I don't have the the handles or anything saved. But it'll probably be at Sunflower Spreads on Twitter. Maybe a little
Post it
Instagram.
in the description. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, we'll put it in the description. For the however many of you that end up listening to this, you could follow, give us some likes and retweets. But yeah, we're gonna. How many episodes a week gonna do?
One or two. We'll see. We'll go from there.
1 or 2.
I'm going to be making a Substack, so stay tuned for that. We'll put the links in all the descriptions, so that'll be fun.
We will have an email in the future for you to email us questions, comments, concerns, and maybe if one day we, for some reason, get popular enough, we'll release some merch. Merch. Anyway, that's
the logo designed by our stellar graphic designer.
Come on, you're very kind.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for listening. We will see you when we see you.